In this video from Reports Your Way, we will show Dynamics NAV customers how to use JET reports to turn multiple NAV fields into a single calculated field. For example, say you want to see invoices with item sales with a profit less than or greater than a certain percent during a period. Our end-user filters are the date range, the percentage for comparison, and whether that comparison is greater than or less than. Additional report filters are to only look at documents where the amount is equal to 0. We don't want to include products that were given away. And then to determine if there is an item selling at below the desired profit threshold. Before we look at the calculation, let's look more closely at that filter to exclude documents that equal 0. When we set filters, there are two required parameters, the field name and the value we want to set as the filter. If we were just listing documents where the amount cannot equal 0, our filter would simply look like this. The field name is Sales Amount Actual, and the value would be less than or greater than 0. Notice that the name of our filter field is contained within quote marks. Because the sales amount is going to be used in a calculation, we need a different syntax. The filter needs to look like this. Note that the function must be surrounded by quote marks, and the existing quote marks around the field name have to be doubled. Because the data is contained within quote marks, Excel will see the results as text and not a number. We need Excel to recognize it as a number, so we need to use the number ampersand technique in the filter value. Now let's look at the calculation. When JET is looking at a record that matches the date and amount filters, it needs to calculate the gross profit as the final filter. If it matches, it will return the document number into Excel. In simple terms, the calculation for the gross profit is sales minus costs, and then divide that result by the sales value. We need to use this calculation as the field name in the filter. That looks like this. We use JET's NF function to retrieve both the sales amount and the cost amount from the database. Again, the entire calculation must be contained within quote marks, and since there must be quotes around the field names, those quote marks need to be doubled. This gets easier as you get used to it. And then, for the filter value, we point to the cell containing our threshold percentage. Note that for the percentage, we need to append the less than or greater than sign using the ampersand. Let's review what we see happening. In this report, JET is looking at the value entry table for records within our date range. When a record meets that date range criteria, JET looks at the sales amount actual field to see if it is greater than or less than 0. If the record meets that criteria, JET then uses the NF functions to calculate the gross profit for that record. This calculation becomes the field name for our filter, and JET then compares it to the field filter value, which is our percentage. If that criteria is met, JET returns the record with the requested details within Excel. For NAV users, this technique can be quite useful. Have a look at the JET Global Help Center article, Compare one NAV field against another field, for more ideas. Thank you for watching this video from Reports Your Way, just one of several videos to help you improve your knowledge for using JET reports.